Hello. Sorry it's been a hot minute since I last did one of these. I just finished up my summer job, and it's been pretty hectic getting back into the swing of courses the past couple weeks, but I'm here now, so hi again. It's that time of the year where band kids return to the outdoor world to suffer a glorious, dehydrated and sweaty torment known as band camp. This is probably a little while after band camp, but you get the idea. It's time for another band camp story segment. I realized after the first one just how many really big things I missed out on, which happens when you try to recall 4 years of memories of a 250 plus member band as a single tired entity, so let's just get started then. As a freshman, I spent a lot of time hanging out with upperclassmen, mostly because my close friend was a senior and all her friends were also upperclassmen in band. There's plenty of stories to fit the face of that friend group, but the one that sticks out to me the most deserves a little honorable mention. I was sitting at a table during lunch with 3 other band kids, one being my close friend G from the first Band Stories video, the second being another close friend of mine who I'll talk about later, and the third being, as I can describe him in the best way possible, a meme of a man known as Justin. So we're just eating lunch and goofing around when all of a sudden he stops, looks at us, and screams, "Oh, Charles!" And he sprints off. A few minutes later, Charles comes and sits down with us, and we ask, "Did you ever see Justin? He was looking for you." "No, I haven't seen him." We still don't know where he went that day, but I guess it was important? I honestly don't know. As you may recall, Contra parties are special. We usually get up to some goofs and antics, and sometimes things get lit on fire. It's a good time. One Contra party, we were at an alumni's house because we just couldn't bear to let him graduate fully, and we were all just chilling on the sofa playing Cards Against Humanity. I brought over this big chocolate sheet cake for everyone, but he didn't have any forks or plates, so I just grabbed a napkin and was trying very carefully to eat a slice without making a mess. As I'm doing this, I look over to Sean, the alumni whose house we had invaded, and see him just grab a piece of cake with his hand and shovel it into his mouth. What? Here I am, trying to be cleanly and a good house guest, and you just toss a piece of cake into your mouth? I guess I shouldn't have assumed tuba players could let anything get in the way of eating. Aside from that horror show, that was a fun section party. Someone else got a hold of an electric fly swatter and was running around outside trying to find bugs. We locked him out. Before our band started doing away trips for championships, we used to perform at SCSBOA, a little ways north from our school. As you can imagine, the drive there, though not as gruel as an 8-hour drive to Fresno, California, was still fairly long, and we often got back home into the early hours of morning. At the time, I was dating someone, the second friend during the "oh shit, Charles" bit, who, how do I put this nicely, seemed to be very out of it on the drive back. It made sense. We had been up all day practicing and rehearsing and then performing. Show days for us were about 12 hours straight, plus unloading the equipment trucks and driving home, so let's just say he was very tired. We were nearly back to the school, and he turns and looks at me with the most genuine and serious smile I'd ever seen, and says, "You don't need a license to drive a sandwich." Incredible. I didn't really get loopy tired on band trips, but I occasionally got excited tired. That's pretty much just the adrenaline pumping after a show, but I'll share a story like that in its own video. Man, he was really tired. I didn't want him to drive home, but I think he woke up enough to survive the 5-minute drive. Are there any band kids out there that did or are doing pep band? That deal's fun. It used to be if you gave our director $5 at lunch before a game, he'd go buy you a pizza. I don't mean like he'd buy you a slice of pizza. No. I mean he'd buy you a pizza. I remember back when my metabolism was at its peak, so to say. I could eat an entire pizza before a football game with little to no consequences. This is also before I realized I was lactose intolerant. I can't do it anymore. Anyways, you know tuba players at this point, so you can imagine the shenanigans that we got up to. At one of our pep band rehearsals, our director, Mr. A, stopped us in the middle of Cupid Shuffle and asked, "Did the tubas have choreography?" We did. What? We gotta have fun somehow. At one of our games, the other Contras put water in my mouthpiece when I wasn't looking. I picked up my horn to play, right as Mr. Raiden walked by, and a bunch of water spit out of my mouthpiece, directly into my face. He wasn't mad. I don't think. It wasn't me. Why would I prank myself? Some of my trumpet friends made up a chant for the fight song, which I will not be repeating here for respect purposes. I ain't no snitch. I have so many good stories about my high school band directors, I could honestly make this its own video, but I'm lazy and have homework that I'm stalling. Don't be like me, kids! On many different occasions, I've offered my band director food. He usually accepted it. Sometimes he didn't. One day, he came over to pick up some stuff from my mom for an event, and my partner at the time was over, and we were eating peanut butter off of spoons. We heard him talking to my mom, and my partner got up and walked out into the garage to offer him some peanut butter. He said no. We also offered him pumpkin Oreos. He returned the favor by offering us cooking tips. Thanks. One of my other band friends and I once brought him his favorite coffee during Axiom Tech Week because we know darn well that he doesn't sleep to make sure we have everything set up for our shows. He accepted that. He's not going to say no to coffee. Okay, this one's not about food. So, I've got our director's birthday on my calendar, and when I was a senior, I knew I had to make it special. I got a couple other band kids to meet me in the band room at lunch, where I distributed about 30 masks of the director's face. We had a key person go into his office to distract him while we set things up. It should also be mentioned that my friend had made a cardboard cutout of him for his Dazzle Me project for leadership interviews that was also sitting in the band room, in the creepy aesthetic light of the color guard's fake fireplace. Our distractor kept him in his office for a few minutes, then asked him, "Hey, what are they doing out there?" He walked out of his office, and someone hit the lights on, to which he looked out upon a beautiful crowd of Mr. Radents, all singing Happy Birthday. We might have traumatized him. We do these things because we love you, not so we can torment you. Though I guess in your perspective it might be the same thing. Sorry. I know I talk a lot about annoying him and the other band staff, but I really do appreciate everything they've done and everything they do to keep that group going. They put in so much of their own time and money to make sure the band is ready for anything, even though, as I've recalled, there's lots of unprecedented things that happen on any given day. I've been graduated for nearly 2 years now. Band was such an important part of my life that it's strange to not have that family anymore. Everyone's moving off into different directions, going to college, starting work, continuing music, or whatever their passion is, but for me that post-band depression always looms on. I can't go back, and believe me, even if I could, I probably wouldn't, but there were good times in there, and those never really go away. I miss it. So, to all you band kids out there, whether you're young or old, freshmen or alumni, take care of each other. And Chase, be nice to the directors. They care a lot about you. Trust me. Well, if you like what I do and want to hear more about the stuff I get up to, hit one of those buttons down below. I thank you for your support, and I will see all y'all in the next video. A bientôt! Bye bye!